This is a watch you probably do not have on your radar. Raymond Weil has been a very popular brand in the past, but somewhat went a little bit silent over the last couple of years, despite bringing out fantastic models. I did not have this watch brand on my radar for a very long time until I got to review their freelance skeleton, which you will find up here. But today we're not talking about that watch. We're talking about the Millesime, a watch that won the GPHG Award in 2023 in the Challenger category. What are the GPHG Awards? Well, basically they are the Oscars of watches. Who is Raymond Weil? Before we dive into the specs, let's talk a little bit about the brand itself. The brand was founded in 1976, and it has since then been independent and family owned. And today, the third generation is leading the company. And the brand is situated in Geneva. So now that you've got an impression of Raymond Weil itself, let's talk about the watch. Because this watch actually brought Raymond Weil back onto my radar. It's not just because the watch itself won the GPHG Award. It did help a lot, but it's actually because the watch looks stunning. The watch that we have here is called Millesime, and the reference is the 2930. It's an automatic sector dial vintage-inspired watch with a small seconds at 6 o'clock. The movement has a power reserve of 38 hours. It's housed in a 39.5 millimeters steel case. It has a sapphire crystal on top that has the shape of a glass box and therefore is flat on top, which very much helps with the overall thickness of just a little bit over 10 millimeters, which is fantastic. We have Super Luminova on the hands, a open case back with sapphire crystal to look at the movement, and the watch is 50 meters water resistant. Why is this watch special in any case? Well, first of all, the watch is priced just under 2,000 euros. Independent watchmakers as such have, well, become very pricey, and therefore finding a watch that looks like this at a decent price point is pretty rare. What most intrigued me about this particular watch is the dial itself. With the sector dial and different finishes on the dial are just magnificent. The bezel or the outer ring of the sapphire crystal on the case is brushed. That's something I found very intriguing, because looking at the watch itself, it feels like you have a vintage watch in a modern case with a modern movement. And this is something I personally love because I'm very much into dress watches, elegant watches, and vintage watches per se. I do prefer the sturdiness of a modern movement, a modern case, and decent water resistancy. The silver dial has a lot of character. This is something that I particularly like about these vintage-inspired watches. Usually they are kept very simple. If they are paired with a thin case, then, well, you got me. This is something I really like. The fact that we have different kinds of finishes on the dial creates this impression of different colors on the dial depending on the light that hits it. Yes, it is a silver dial, but you have nuances of beige, of cream, off-white, in some instances even white itself. And this goes for one thing, and one thing that I am particularly known for: changing the straps on my watches. And this watch is an actual strap beast. Pairing it with different kinds of cool straps makes for a fantastic watch itself. You could wear this watch with the gray vintage-inspired looking strap that it comes with, or if you just want to spice it up a little bit, try out a different kind of calf leather strap. I picked out the Gifone, put it on this watch, and I was impressed. The honey brown leather gives the watch a completely different character. It makes the watch a tad bit more sophisticated, something that you see on vintage watches, and therefore I like it. I am convinced that this watch is a great everyday kind of watch. It has everything you need. It tells the time. It gives you the opportunity to personalize this watch to your style in whatever way you want. The size is great. It works with smaller or bigger wrists. And the fact that it has this decent water resistancy just gives you nice comfort day in, day out. With 20mm lugs, you have the perfect companion to straps. You can pair this with any strap you want. Black, brown, color, whatever you want. Most strap manufacturers will have a strap for the watch, same as we do. I will have a link to the watch and to the strap that I showed down in the description below. I think Raymond Weil is on the right track right now, bringing out watches that are interesting to the watch community and sticking to their independent roots. We need more brands like that just have the opportunity to play around a little bit. That's why I wanted to try out this watch. It's a real stunner on the wrist. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed the Raymond Weil Millesime. If you want to watch different reviews or stylings of watches, here are 2 videos for you to check out. That's it for today. Hope you enjoyed it. Please do subscribe. And as always, if you feel like it, put a thumbs up. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.